Welcome to a new episode of Ausfahrt.tv in English with me, your host, Mr. Z, and I'm excusing myself as always for my broken English and my strong German accent. Today I'm going to present you the all-new Volkswagen Passat GTI, and GTI stands for plug-in hybrid. Volkswagen already introduced the Golf as GTI in 2014, and they're doing this for a reason. They expect that this year over 200,000 plug-in hybrids will be sold worldwide over all brands, and they expect that in 2018 it will be 4 times as much, so nearly 1 million plug-in hybrids. And thinking about the near future, they expect in 2022 already 3.3 million plug-in hybrids on the market to be sold each year. So it makes sense for us to look at their flagship, the Passat GTI, and we are introducing the sedan version since we already have a clip of the E-State version. Under the hood of the Passat GTI we find this baby here, 1.4 liter TSI, a turbo gasoline engine. And this is good for 156 horsepower. And we have the 6-speed DSG dual clutch automatic transmission, and inside this dual clutch transmission we have the electric engine with 115 horsepower. Together we have a system power of 218 horsepower, and this is good for a maximum torque of 400 Newton meters. The electric engine itself has a maximum torque of 330 Newton meters, while the 1.4 liter TSI engine has a maximum torque of 250 Newton meters. And you get them in a range of 1,600 and 3,500 RPM. As always, here are the basic facts for the Passat GTI as sedan. Acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 0 to 62 miles per hour, this car takes 7.4 seconds. The top speed is reached at 225 kilometers per hour or 140 miles per hour. If you want to drive all electric, the top speed is 130 kilometers per hour or 81 miles per hour. The gas tank of the 2015 Volkswagen Passat GTI is good for 50 liters, equals 13.2 gallons. The battery should have enough energy for 50 kilometers or 31 miles. With both systems, Volkswagen claims that you can reach over 1070 kilometers or 665 miles. The Passat GTI had a length of 4.77 meters, equals 188 inches, with a wheelbase of 2.79 meters, which equals 110 inches. Its height is 1.46 meters or 57 inches. And from mirror tip to mirror tip, it has a width of 2.08 meters or 82 inches. As of the turn radius, you need at least 11.7 meters of free space, which equals 461 inches. The curb weight is 1,735 kilograms or 3,825 pounds. The admissible total weight is 2,250 kilograms, which equals 4,960 pounds. I'm wearing blue today, and this for a reason, because blue stands for Volkswagen's e-mobility. So everything electric has blue somehow. So the e-Golf is with a blue stripe, so is the Golf GTI, and so we find a blue stripe going all over the hood for the Passat GTI as well. I'm sorry. We have a different kind of grille, a little bit more chrome, and especially with all the models, all the Volkswagen e-models, we have the daytime running light in LED technology in a C shape. By the way, you find full LED headlights here as well, and they come with the car by factory, so you don't have to pay extra for this. And that's for a reason, because we have a secret door here, and if I open it, here's a plug for the electricity, so you can load the car. You have 3 ways of charging the battery. First, while driving, of course. Second, put it on a regular power outlet with 230 volts. Then it takes 4 hours and 15 minutes to charge the battery completely. Otherwise you go on a wall box, and then it takes 2 hours and 30 minutes to recharge the battery completely. In case you're wondering, this color here, this blue, is called Harvard Blue Metallic, and you can order it as an option. It's one of 9 colors you can choose from. If you wonder where are the batteries in this car, they're placed right here in front, well, on the floor of the car in front of the rear axis. And Volkswagen is giving a warranty of 8 years or 160,000 kilometers for the batteries. Well, our test car stands on 18-inch alloys. They might look good, but actually it's kind of stupid, because by factory settings you get the car with 17-inch alloys with the name of a French city, Montpellier. And those factory settings alloys, they have a special design, an aerodynamic design, and so they help the car being even more efficient. You don't drive a GTE for sporty driving, you buy it because you want to maybe save Mother Earth, at least be a little bit more efficient with your driving. So I would not recommend taking 18-inch, I would stay with a factory setting. Behind the brakes you see the blue brake calipers, and they suggest, they show you, hey, there's something new going on. You can get the energy from braking back into the battery. So it's sort of recharging while you brake, while you slow down the car in any way, you get energy back to the car, which is a good thing. And if you just try to slow the car down in a light way, it's already done by the electric engine in the automatic suspension. That saves the energy back to the battery. If you try to slow down rapidly, it's all the energy from the brakes that go back to the battery. How do you recognize a Passat GTE from the back? Well, you don't, except you have good eyes and see this blue GTI logo. Everything else is just the same. Our test car is equipped with an optional full LED rear lights in dark red. And if you're wondering where the exit pipes are, those are just design elements. The exit pipes are down here and just look to the floor. That's nothing special for the Passat GTE. It's almost for all the Passats except the biggest diesel version. This one has real exit pipes in the rear. Let me show you the interior of the Passat GTE, and I'm telling you already it's not too much difference to the normal models. However, the door opens in an angle of around 85 degrees, and it's a pretty huge door, so I have a large entry frame. And it really is a very comfortable getting in the car. I have to lean out just a little bit to close the door. So here I am in the Passat GTE. And it is all over a Volkswagen, and you see it at once. I think the whole interior design by Volkswagen is always very German, you know, very accurate, very clean, very cleaned up. And still I like it, most likely because I am German. Looking at the materials, we have soft touch here all over the dashboard, then a line of applications. You can choose between different applications here. And below, in a different color, again soft touch. Here we have hard plastics, leather. I'm sitting on leather seats. In the door panels we have leather, soft touch application and soft touch again. Steering wheels coated with leather. So it does feel indeed premium. I mean, what else would you expect? More leather maybe, but I think everywhere where you touch, where you have your hands, you feel something that feels good, and I like it. Thinking about how everything is in place, I'm not too much of a fan if the center console is facing the back. I like it a little bit driver orientated, like the Golf has it, for instance. Here it's facing the back. Well, but all the switches, once you've driven one Volkswagen or even one of the Volkswagen company cars like Skoda or Seat, you can drive this car with ease without even looking where all the switches are. Well, Toby is not here today with his 195 centimeters of height. I'm just 180 centimeters, and I can tell you I have enough space. By the way, the guy behind the camera is Alexander Bronze, so you might want to wave hi to him. I have not only space for my head, but the whole car is quite spacious. To the side, it does not feel, narrow or tight at all. You do have a spacious feeling, and that's a good thing. So let me jump in our normal routine. We have a possibility to adjust the safety belts in height, so it's always nice and tight on my shoulder. The seat belts have this length, so even people who like to eat a lot can buckle up themselves with ease. I'm sitting on leather seats, and they're pretty comfortable, but it's kind of strange. I can move them back and forward manually. I can turn the angle of the seat manually. I can pump them up and down manually, but I can change the backrest electrically. So what's the point? Besides that, I have a lumbar function electrically as well. I've driven around 50, 70 kilometers so far, and I consider the seats very comfortable indeed. They're good for my back, I feel it. The steering wheel is adjustable manually again, and that's the radius you have to find a perfect driving condition for yourself. It's coated with leather, and I'm a big fan of Volkswagen steering wheels because they're not too thick, they're not too thin, they just have the right size, at least for my tiny hands. And the leather feels nice as well. We have shifting pedals right on our fingertips. They're made out of plastic, so that's not high quality or it does not have a premium touch, but they're good in reach. I didn't use them with the GTE, so. We have a multifunctional steering wheel, so we have buttons on the left side to control the adaptive cruise control and the volume of the infotainment system. On the right side, we have buttons to control the board computer and pick up the phone, put a voice command, and skip a song or a radio station. And by the way, I forgot to tell you, I can heat the seats up. Today we have really hot temperatures outside. I would really appreciate a climate control for the seats as well, but the only thing you can do is heat them up in 3 intensities. Looking in the mirrors, they're not really big, but they're big enough to see the traffic behind you. And same with the inner mirror. I cannot see the full back window, the full rear window, but I see a big part of it, so I think it's okay. Together with those 3 mirrors, you have a good overview what's going on behind. If I turn my head over my left shoulder, the B-pillar is everything but big, so I don't see a real blind spot. Going to the right side, B-pillar is okay. And even the C-pillar is pretty thin. I'm really amazed. So you shouldn't have a blind spot there. Since we have a sedan, and I consider parking a sedan always kind of, tricky because you don't see the end of the car, we do have a 360-degree camera in here. That's an option, and I like it a lot because you can really focus on parking here. That's pretty neat. It's realized, by the way, over 4 cameras, 1 in the rear, 2 under the mirror caps, and 1 in front, and all over it produces this bird view, and I like it. That's cool. Behind the steering wheel in our car we find 2 classical round gauges, but you can order the Passat GTE as well with the active info display. So that's a 12.3-inch display instead of the round gauges. That's the same Audi is calling the virtual cockpit. But we have the round gauges here, so on the left side we have something similar to an RPM meter. Actually, it's sort of a power meter, It shows you if you charge or if you are using power. And if you're driving with a combustion engine in connection with the electric engine, you get this boost function, and you can see here whenever the boost is used. In between, we have a little gauge as well, and that's the RPM meter for the 1.4 liter TSI engine. On the right side, we have the speedometer going up to 260 kilometers per hour. The car runs to 225, so we have a little reserve here. Inside the round gauge, we have another little gauge, and that's the display for the gas tank. In between the two gauges, we have a display. It's about 5/8 of an iPhone. And here we have the board computer and can switch through all the different values on one hand. What I like is when we talk about fuel consumption, it gives you two values. First of all, how much electric power is used and how much gas is used. So you have two different values, and whenever you drive full electrically, the gas value is 0, and if you drive with the combustion engine all the time, it does not use any electric power. Besides that, we can see all the assist systems. By the way, we have a button on the turning signal switch. If I press this, I get to this menu of the assist systems, so I can easily turn on and off the different systems. I kind of think that's cool. We have a display for the navigation, for the audio, whatever is going on there, for the telephone, a status screen for the car, as well as a screen for the hybrid function, and that's pretty much it. The Volkswagen Passat GTE is by factory setting equipped with a smaller infotainment system. We have here the premium version, the Discover Pro. It has an 8-inch screen, sorry. And by the way, we have some new objects here. One is CarNet, so a bunch of apps you can use, for instance, reading the weather, or seeing the weather in your surroundings, or reading news, seeing where I can charge the car, or where I can get gas, or finding parking spots. Besides that, there's another function in the car menu where you see how much reach you have with electric power, where the energy goes. Are you charging? Are you discharging? What is going on with your car? So you have another screen for that. It shows you your emission, how much emission you have right now, and there's an e-manager where you can store when you want to charge the car. For instance, you drive home, you plug it in, and you don't want to charge it right now. Maybe you have a good deal with your power company, so at night the power is cheaper, so you can say, well, charge the car at a certain time, for instance. Alright, and you can read all the gauges and the display easily. Even if the sun stands on the infotainment system, there's no problem reading it at all. What I think it's kind of strange is this analog clock up here. I don't know for what reason they have it. I have it the time here in the board computer, I have it here in the infotainment display. Why in the world should I need another analog time? I don't know, but some people might really like it. There's an ambient light in this car as well. It's here right in the door panels, and all 4 door panels under the silver application, and it's illuminating in a blue color, blue for the GTE, for the e-power function of Volkswagen. There's no sunroof, but we have a horn, of course, and yeah, I'm supposed to check it in every review, so here it goes. Let's walk through all the compartments real quick. Let's see what we have. In the door panels, we have not only space for this half-a liter bottle. I'm pretty sure 1 liter bottles fit in here, maybe even 1.5 liter bottles. And behind that, we have not only space for this little warning vest bag. I think even 4 or 5 of this size might fit in here. Next to the steering wheel on the left, we have another little compartment. It's coated with textiles, so I don't know what it's good for. Maybe some keys or something you don't want to have in the car laying around. In front of the stick here of the automatic transmission, we have something which used to be the ashtray and the cigarette lighter. We still have a 12-volt outlet and a little compartment with an anti-slip surface that you can even remove. See, it used to be the ashtray. It's not really handy, and I would probably put some coins in here. Under this we find the cup holders. The cup holders come with spacers, so this rather skin bottle fits in here okay and would not fall out. I think a little bit bigger bottles or cups would fit even better. Smaller probably not. If you want to use it, fine, otherwise you just close this thing and looks nice. Next to this compartment we have a tiny one with an anti-slip surface again. It's just a good size to put the key in. Here we have the armrest. We can adjust it to the front, to the back, and in height as well. You know, step by step we can find the right position for your arm to really hang loose. But keep in mind, kids at home, both hands belong to the steering wheel if you want to drive properly. We have a little compartment down here. Let me see, where's my bottle? I just put it in so you can see how deep it goes. There's the hook for the USB and as well a line in or an aux in. It's connected to the infotainment system. We have a gloves compartment, of course. We can even cool it down with a air condition. So if you cool down the car with the air condition, you can let the gloves compartment cool down as well. It's pretty nice in summertime when you want to have a cool drink. So I put a bottle in here already, and we have the board material. So the board material and 2 bottles might fit in here. Besides that, we have a 2 SD card slots, a SIM card slot, and a slot for CDs or DVDs in here. We have sunshades on both sides. How amazing. Both have makeup mirrors that are illuminated with an LED, and on the left side we even find a little ticket clip where you can, you know, put your parking ticket. There's a compartment for sunshades. So my sunshade, it is really sunny outside, but I still have them in here. And it's, by the way, the floor is coated with anti-slip surface as well. If I want to read as a driver, I hit this switch and both reading lights start. If I want to read as a passenger, just the passenger lamp goes on. I can put on the lights in the rear here, and I can push this button to avoid that the car illuminates when I open the door. You know, in some neighborhoods you don't want to have this. We have handles on all 4 doors, and that's pretty much it from the front. Alright, let's get inside. Wow, I don't even have to bend my head. That's pretty amazing. The door's kind of heavy right here, but then I can slam it. Welcome in the rear. It is as nice as in the front. The same materials, sitting on leather, having leather in the door panel, soft touch, the silver application, and even here this line of LED in blue for the ambient light. I am 180 centimeters tall, as I told you. The driver's seat is put in a position that I can drive easily, and look how much space I have for my legs. Very comfortable. So at least 2 persons my size can sit here just fine in a row. And I even have lots of space for my head. Well, not lots, but like 2 or 3 hands full of space for my head. Besides that, the outer seats are formed a little bit, so in curves I don't, you know, scoot around too much. I have a side support, and that's pretty neat. If I scoot in the middle, I'm still sitting quite comfortable with my butt, but my back, that's pretty hard, really. I still have a little bit of head space, but not too much, and if I lean back I kind of lose my head. And I'm sitting on the locks of the doorbells, so people would, you know, have to touch my butt to buckle up. I really don't like this, but at least you can sit here with 3 grown-ups my size for a while, but the one in the middle will hate you if you don't stop every once in a while, I guess. Let's look around. In the door panels we have enough space for this half-a-liter bottle. I think a liter bottle will fit as well, and we still have enough space for, you know, a gaming console, your wallet, some phones or whatever. at the end of the backrest of the front seats, we have a little bag for magazines or whatever. In the middle here, we have 2 air outlets and even an own climate control for the rear. So we have a 3-zone climate control. And below that, there's a little drawer. And here we not only have a 12-volt outlet, but as well a 230-volt outlet that you can use for anything that is not using more than 150 watts. All right, we got an armrest in case just 2 people are driving, and here we have cup holders. And actually it's not really a cup holder, it's just 3 round holes. I can press this bottle in the middle, but it's not really, you know, that's pretty tight. And they all have another size. And I really don't get why they didn't do it like in the front row with nice spacers, so you can, you know, put any bottle or cup in this cup holder. If you want to, you can pull this handle and can load things from the trunk to the front if you have longer luggage. We have Isofix hooks for baby shelves or child seats. And believe me, because I tried it in the German version already, the seat belts are really long enough to buckle up the baby shelves or the child seats. Besides that, the locks of the safety belts are stiff, so the kids can buckle up themselves with ease. Talking about kids, they are not supposed to only, you know, play with the Nintendo. They can read in here as well. Both of the auto places have reading lights that you can put on and off. I prefer having them on the side so it's not disturbing the driver, but you know how it is. We have handles, I told you already. Here's a hook for your jacket on the right side as well, and we have another hook on the B pillar. The windows have a privacy glass. You can see it as I roll them down. They're power driven and they fold down completely, which I really like. So you know, I can hang here my arm out. Of course, they have a protection so no one gets harmed. Besides, that's pretty much it. As an option, you can get the electric hood for the trunk, so it opens electrically. You have a switch in the door panel. You have a switch on the key. By the way, that is the key for buttons. Lock, unlock, and open the trunk. It's pretty neat. On the other side, the Volkswagen badge as well as a GTE badge graved in here. And the last option is to just push the Volkswagen badge on the back and the trunk opens. You have 586 liters of space for your luggage or 21 cubic feet. And let me look inside what we got here. Oh, by the way, I measured everything. You know, I measured everything so far. So you need to lift things up 75 centimeters to put it in the trunk, and it goes 10 centimeters down. You have a width of 1 meter and 4 centimeters, and the trunk is 110 centimeters deep. There's a little door here for the bottom, and here we find the Medipack and some tools, as well as a compartment which is big enough to store the cable for charging the car. On the left side we don't have anything. On the right side there's another compartment, you know, for some stuff. And we have a 12-volt outlet as well. The trunk is illuminated by a small light, but it's not an LED. And we have 4 things to tie up stuff in the trunk. We have, by the way, here's a warning triangle. And we have 2 handles, which I can use to flip the back row. And it folds 60% on the right, 40% on the left. Once I have flipped the back seats, I have a volumina of 1152 liters, and I can easily store goods up to a length of 177 centimeters to the edge of the back seat row. And if I measure it to the driver's seat, I even have 2 meters for my goods. Okay, let's close the trunk and finish off the numbers. You can store up to 590 kilos inside the Passat GTI, of which you can store 100 kilos on the roof. If that's not enough for you, you can install a hook and you can pull trailers up to a weight of 1.8 tons if they have their own braking system. Well, let me sum up my driving experience here with a Volkswagen Passat GTI. First of all, I have to say I really like plug-in hybrids. I'm a big fan of this concept. I think it's pretty cool. And you have the best of two worlds. So I think that is really neat to have an electric engine, drive without all emissions, and on the other hand have the combustion engine for longer reach, for longer trips, and together both of them to have a little bit more power, bit more of driving fun. And you can have indeed driving fun. There's a GTE button here next to this shift stick. And once you press it, you get both engines activated, you have a boost level, you hit the throttle, and it really jumps forward. We have driving modes we can choose from: Eco, Comfort, Normal, Sport, Individual. Once you try Individual, you can adapt the settings to your wishes, and you can look what's going on. With the DCC, we have the dynamic chassis control, a dynamic damper system. We can affect the steering, the ACC, the adaptive cruise control, the dynamic cornering light, the air condition. So all those values you can fit to your needs. Regarding the DCC, you can choose between sport, normal, and comfort, while for the climate control, for instance, you have the choice between normal and eco. So you can get your very setting to do all this, and that's pretty neat. So once you go in sport, the DCC, the dynamic chassis control, gets a little bit sporty and a little bit stiffer, while when you put it in comfort, it is really comfortable. I've driven the Skoda Superb, which is on the same platform, and they have a quite different setup. Their comfort program is much more comfortable. It's almost like an old French car, really, you know, you kind of float, while here the comfort program is a little bit stiffer but not uncomfortable at all. It is pretty comfortable. It gets all the bumpers here pretty fine without, you know, that you even feel them. But since the Skoda has but the sport program for the Skoda is not as stiff as this one here. So I would rather, you know, I like the comfort setting from the Skoda, but I like the sport setting from the Passat. So the suspension is all fine. The steering, I'm not too keen about the steering. You know, in the middle you can shake the steering wheel without anything happen. I like more direct steerings, and I really enjoy it. Especially there's or at least not such a big difference between, at least in the middle, between sport and comfort. However, you know, once you really go into the on curvy country roads, you still, you know, get your feedback and you can drive the car just fine and alright, and sporty even. The brakes are fine. Braking is kind of funny, slowing down the car, because once you take your foot from the throttle, the car slows down immediately, trying to get more energy from the battery. And by the way, we have an E-mode button here, and we can choose between E-mode, which is all electric driving, hybrid, best, so both engines work in a way that the car is efficient, and then charging, battery charge, so the combustion engine starts and it's not only bringing you forward, but it's as well getting more power back in the battery. And the combustion engine gets a little bit loud every once in a while, but that's all okay. I'm fine with that. But anyhow, once you really slow the car down, you hear, put your foot on the braking pedal, on the pedal of the brake. You don't feel that it's recuperating or it's recharging the battery. it feels just like a normal brake. So no worries about that, and it's just working fine. Steering, suspension, sound, I think I got everything. Once again, talking to the power, this car is fun to drive. You have a lot of power to choose from, and so it's a fun drive overall. We do have various assist systems in here. You have a button on the stick of the turning signal. So we have a lane keeping assist, an active lane keeping assist. Starting at 70 kilometers per hour, it tries to scan the roads. It tries to scan the road, and once it recognizes the road, you have a little icon switching from orange to green, and then you know, wow, it's working. And once you hit the edges of the lanes, it uses the system to bring you back in the middle of the lane. So that's working okay. We have a blind spot one okay, 3 LEDs working there, warning me if someone is in the blind spot. And what else is there? Yeah, front assist, but I'm not really mentioning it. We have an adaptive cruise control as well as a traffic sign recognition. Both works with charm. I'm a big fan of adaptive cruise control, so you always keep the distance to the car in front of you, regardless if it slows down or not. Alright, let me sum up everything. First of all, I gotta say about the consumption, and I know it's kind of stupid because it's a plug-in hybrid, so consumption is a major topic. But still, I cannot really say much. I have not driven this car so much that I can really give you real numbers. I think you have to have it at least for 2 weeks to use it as a daily driver, to make your daily experience, to go on the Autobahn and match all this together in a real number. So whatever I have here now, it's just not worth telling you in detail. But for the rest, I think it's a fun driver, especially in the boost mode. So combustion engine in combination with the electric engine, it really goes forward. It's fun to drive. It is a comfortable car as well, at least with a dynamic chassis control, because I think on one hand the comfort is really comfortable, and on the other hand in sport it does get a little bit stiffer, so you do have a sporty feeling for the curvy roads, you know. However, in comparison to the Škoda Superb, which is based on the same platform, I think the Škoda is a little bit more comfortable in the comfort setting and less sporty in the sporty setting. So if this is important for you, here my information to this. Seeing it as a daily driver, you have a lot of space, enough space for 4 grown-ups to go even on a holiday. The trunk is big enough, you can store a lot in there, so I would really like it as a daily driver. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. The seats are comfortable, by the way, as well. So I'm saying thank you again to Alex Bond for recording, for filming. And if you like those pictures, which might look a tiny bit better than the stuff I normally send, you might give him a little applause as well, or mention him in the comments. If you have any questions to our reviews, please put them in the comment field and I'm trying to answer. If you like this clip, which I hope, please give me a thumb up, because that is motivating us. And if you really like this clip, feel free to share them at Facebook, put them in your YouTube playlist, your personal, stream it on Twitter, or put them on Google Plus or even VK. I'm your host, Mr. Z. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I see you next time in my next review, saying goodbye.